Yes, indeed. This is Professor David Steinberg. Well, John McCain and Mitt Romney are out in full force trying unsuccessfully, and I might add pathetically, to deny the nomination to Donald Trump. And what they're essentially saying to voters is, you don't want to vote for him. You can't vote for him. Well, gentlemen, the last I looked, people have a right to vote in this country. I suppose you'd like to abolish that, but we do. And people do want to vote for him. Who is it that people are supposed to want to vote for? John McCain's candidate, Lindsey Graham? What kind of vote did Lindsey Graham, how did he do in the Iowa polls? I think it was something like 0.7. Does that sound about right, Senator McCain? Nobody wants to vote for him. Let me ask you a question, too, since you complain that Trump isn't a real Republican and so on and so forth. And it's a good question, actually. What does the Republican Party stand for? And don't insult my intelligence by saying something stupid like conservatism. No, you don't. You have a conservative candidate in the race right now, Ted Cruz. Now, Ted Cruz may not be your favorite person in the world. There are some things that have occurred during the presidential campaign involving Cruz that I haven't been entirely happy with. There's some things involving Trump I haven't been entirely happy with. But Ted Cruz is a real conservative. He has a record of conservatism. He wants to abolish the IRS, more or less, leaving a small enforcement arm, and lower tax rates. Lowering tax rates used to be a Republican Party principle. Not anymore, I guess. Ted Cruz is talking about deregulating, getting power out of Washington and back to the states. Oh, you don't like that at all, do you guys? And Ted Cruz wants to try to stop illegal immigration. That's the problem, gentlemen, isn't it, really? It is Ted Cruz's views on immigration, which both of you are on record as opposing. Let me tell you what the mainstream Republican Party is represented by Mitt Romney, John McCain, Lindsey Graham, and all the rest, what they really stand for. What you guys really stand for. I know it and you know it. Cheap foreign labor. Come on, guys. Come out and say it. Be honest for 30 minutes in your lives. 30 seconds in your lives. It'll make you feel good. Cheap foreign labor. Either by allowing a million people a year to cross the border and for pennies on the dollar take jobs that used to provide a living wage for Americans, or to bring in guest workers to take jobs in Silicon Valley. That you guys both have supported an expansion of guest worker programs, and there's no reason for these other than for these super rich executives, many of them in Silicon Valley, to fire qualified American workers who have made them a fortune over the years and hire cheap, incompetent foreign labor. And then best of all, this is the Mitt Romney way to send jobs overseas, to offshore. This is what you guys have spent your lives working for, and I've got to tell you, you've been remarkably successful working with the Clintons and the Bushes and the Obamas, with treaties like NAFTA and the WTO and so on and so forth. There aren't hardly any jobs for Americans in the United States anymore. The last field where Americans have some chance of getting some kind of decent paying job, technology is being destroyed by foreign guest workers. And what have you done about it, John McCain? What have you done to limit the flow of foreign workers taking jobs away from Americans? From Americans who have worked their whole lives in a company and are being thrown aside for cheap foreign guest workers from places like China and India and Pakistan, a country that is crawling with terrorists. What have you done? You've been in the Senate for 100 years, John McCain. What have you done? Nothing. That's what you've done. I'm sick of it. We're all sick of it. And we're sick of both of you. So, with respect to Donald Trump's nomination by the Republican Party, which is going to happen, and there's not a damn thing either one of you can do about it, if you're going to play by any kind of sense of justice. The only way you can do about it is just say, we're going to throw out all the primaries. So with respect to Donald Trump's nomination, either get the hell out of the way or get run over. And frankly, I don't care which. This is Professor David Steinberg.